Have you heard about this? It's called the let them theory. Just two simple words that kicked off this massive online movement, promising peace and freedom to millions of people. But, and this is a big but, those same two words have also started a huge firestorm of controversy. Okay, let's get into it.
So just to give you an idea of how big this got, a single social media post from life coach Mel Robbins on this very topic it exploded. We're talking more than 14 million views. When something hits a nerve that hard and that fast, you know there's something really interesting going on underneath.
And that's really the heart of the puzzle we're unpacking today. How can one simple idea make millions of people feel seen and inspired, while making millions of others feel, pretty enraged? How can it be a life-changing epiphany for one person and a harmful, simplistic scam to another? All right, so first up, a viral sensation. We're going to look at the promise of personal peace. Because to really understand the conflict, you have to first get why so many people fell in love with this idea. It all started right here. These are the words from Mel Robbins' viral clip. If your friends are not inviting you out to brunch this weekend, let them. If the person that you're really attracted to is not interested in a commitment, let them. The whole idea is just so direct, it's almost kind of shocking. Basically, stop trying to force things.
So what is it, really? Well, the key thing to understand is that it's a mindset shift. The goal isn't to be passive or become a doormat, not at all. It's about stopping the waste of all your precious energy trying to control things you can't control, namely, other people. The promise is that when you do that, you get to reclaim your own peace of mind.
And she tells this perfect little story that makes it all click. It's her son, Oakley's prom night, and there's a massive rainstorm. He wants to go to this tiny taco place called the Avocado Pit for his big dinner. Her immediate reaction is to jump in, to manage, to fix it. But then her daughter just says, "Mom, let them." And that was the light bulb moment. It's his night, his memory. Let him have it.
So how's this supposed to work in your own life? Well, it breaks down into 3 basic steps. 1, you consciously let go of trying to control the outcome. 2, you realize that a lot of the time, your disappointment is coming from your own expectations, not what someone else is doing. And 3, you take all that energy you were using to worry and manage, and you pour it back into yourself. Okay, but for every fan, there seems to be a critic. And that brings us to the other side of this story, the critical backlash. The side that's asking, really, couldn't this have just been a tweet?
And this is the real question the critics are asking. Is this simple, catchy advice actually helpful? Or could it even be harmful? The argument is that this one-size-fits-all solution might be hiding some pretty damaging ideas. You look online, places like Reddit, and it is a fire hose of complaints. A lot of people find her delivery to be aggressive, even a little shaming. A huge criticism is that the idea is so simple, it could have been a tweet, but it's padded with endless filler. And maybe most importantly, some worry it's telling people to just be passive when they should be fighting for something. And this quote right here from a user on Reddit, it just nails the biggest psychological pushback. They said, "I think what's icky about it is it's the actual opposite of the research Brené Brown has done." And whoa, pitting this theory against Brené Brown, that's a heavyweight fight. And that sets up this deeper debate. A battle of ideas, really. Vulnerability versus detachment. Is it better to pull back and detach to protect your own peace, like Robbins suggests? Or should you lean into vulnerability to build connection, like Olive Brown's research says? This chart really lays it all out. You've got Brené Brown, whose research famously says vulnerability is courage and that we are biologically hardwired for connection. Critics say the let them theory is all about disconnection. Then there's the topic of shame. Brown teaches that shame is toxic, it destroys our sense of worth. Meanwhile, critics point to Robbins using language they feel is shaming, calling excuses dumb, for example. You can see they're just not on the same page. And this comparison of credentials is a key point for the critics. They'll highlight that Mel Robbins is a life coach with a law degree who is, really good at repackaging ideas, whereas Brené Brown is a PhD social worker who has done over 20 years of original academic research on these exact subjects. For a lot of people, that distinction matters.
This brings up another huge critique, that none of this is actually new. People point out that the idea of accepting what you can't control is, well, it's ancient. It's a core idea in Stoicism and Buddhism. It's the Serenity Prayer. There's even another viral poem called Let Them by a writer named Cassie Phillips. So the issue isn't that the idea is bad. It's that it's being sold as a brand new invention without giving credit where it's due. And from here, the whole debate gets even bigger. It stops being about just one theory and starts being about the entire self-help industry. It's the guru question. Is this about helping or is it a grift? Some critics, they really go for it. They talk about what one person online called the self-help guru circle jerk. The accusation is that there's this whole ecosystem of big-name influencers who all promote each other's books, have each other on their podcasts, and hype each other up, blurring the line between genuine advice and just a big marketing machine. But of course, for every single critic, there's a fan ready with the perfect comeback. And you have to admit, this one is pretty clever. A user wrote, "In the end, haters gonna hate, let them," with a little winky face. They're using the theory itself to dismiss all the criticism. Their point is simple. If the advice helps you, who cares about anything else? So when all the dust settles, what you have is a totally divided public. A huge slice of people feel genuinely empowered by this. But then you have all these other factions. The skeptics, the people who are just annoyed by the delivery, those who think it's a grift, and even a group that says, yeah, it's unoriginal, but I still find it useful. The core idea clearly works for a lot of people, but the packaging, the commercial side of it, that's the real sticking point. And that leaves us with one last massive question that's way bigger than just Mel Robbins. In this world that is just flooded with gurus and influencers selling you life-changing advice, how do we know the difference? When does self-help actually help? And when does it just become a grift? That's what I want to leave you thinking about.